moving like burn, moving like burn, we moving like burn.
Do you feel like you're being underrepresented in this country? Are you getting all the rights that you deserve? Bernie Sanders wants you to have all those rights that you're promised and deserved. He's a strong supporter of gay marriage.
Bernie Sanders allowed me to get married to my beautiful husband.
Of course all citizens deserve equal rights. It's time for the Supreme Court to catch up with the American people and legalize gay marriage. I'm Bernie Sanders, and I approve this message.
Hi, I'm Richard Jones. I'm with 2016 presidential candidate Bernie Sanders to discuss his views on legalization of marijuana. So, Bernie, how do you feel about the legalization?
Thanks for having me, Dick. I believe that medical marijuana should be available to anyone who needs it, but I also have some doubts about the recreational use. I think that we should be focusing more of our attention on the real criminals, but I do believe that we should lessen the penalties for possession of marijuana.
So what would you lessen these penalties to?
Well, because they're not quite as severe as you would expect, I think that we should lessen the penalties to about the equivalent of a parking violation.
So what do you mean by the other criminals that you mentioned?
Well, I mean, heroin's been a pretty big outbreak in the past couple of years in the United States, so I think that we should be focusing our attention on that.
All right, well, thanks for coming on, Bernie.
Thanks for having me, Dick.
As members of the National Labor Relations Board, we endorse Bernie Sanders because he's a strong supporter of increasing the minimum wage to allow everyone in the country to be able to live off their income.
Since 1968, the real value of the minimum wage has fallen by 30%. Raising the minimum wage reduces income inequality, boosts the economy, and helps families who have to pay bills. I propose raising the minimum wage to $15 to benefit citizens across America.
Illegal immigration is one of the issues that must be addressed by a presidential candidate in the near future. About 11.7 million people are living in the country illegally, and we must make a straightforward decision in addressing this. One thing's for certain, Marco Rubio realistically has no idea what he's doing about immigration.
Illegal immigrants have a place in this country. Right? Maybe they do. I don't know. Give me a second to think about it.
Take it from the man himself. Rubio once strongly supported allowing illegal immigrants to stay, but is now berating the so-called dreamers who are looking for a fair opportunity to make a living.
I believe the only way that we can accept illegal immigrants in our country is through a sequential and piecemeal approach. All I have to do is assume that Congress is on board, and they will be. They will be.
But is that the case, Marco? Torn between appeasing the Republican Party and the Latino population, Rubio has not had a firm stance on his immigration policy, which is what a strong president needs.
Soy Marco Rubio y apruebo this mensaje. ¿Qué pasa? Wait, get the hell out of here! And welcome back to the Late Show with Harry Johnson. If you missed us before break, we played Can You Out Roundhouse Kick Chuck Norris with Chuck Norris. And up next, we're going to have a very valued guest. He is going for the presidential seat in 2016. He is out for the kill, and he is ready to take Obama's seat as the president of the United States of America. It's Bernie Sanders! I want to talk about fun and games, but we're going to have to get right down to business because the roundhouse kicking with Chuck Norris took a little bit too long since I broke my pelvis. So, what is your stance on ISIS?
Well, I believe ISIS is a pretty major threat, but I think that the Saudi Arabians asking us for a lot of the help and to be the ones that really lead the charge isn't right. I think that we should be backing the Saudi Arabians and they should be taking charge. and that other Western countries should get on board with that.
Absolutely. Fight their own wars.
They gotta fight their own battle.
So you've made your stance pretty clear on where you want us to be in the Middle East. I guess my question is, what is our input going to do? Where do you think that we should be in terms of our effort in the war? How much input should we have in it?
Well, I think we should definitely be supporting, but I mean, Saudi Arabia has the third most funded military in the world, so I think they're more than well equipped to handle it.
Interesting. Well, war on terrorism is definitely a domestic issue as well as international. What is your stance on anti-terrorism legislation, such as the Patriot Act?
Well, terrorism is definitely a major issue, but I don't think that the American people's constitutional rights should be deprived just for their safety. If I'm elected to office, I promise I'll pass the legislation that gets you all your rights.
Yeah, well, you know Obama.
Obama? Obama? What are you talking about, Obama? He doesn't give us our rights.
That's the way this guy thinks. Well, that's all the time we have tonight. The Late Show with Harry Johnson. I had a great time tonight. I know you had a great time tonight, and I know all you out there had a great time tonight. You know, you mix a little bit of happiness with 2 teaspoons of regret, you get a great time at the Harry Johnson Show. So, Bernie Sanders, a great sport and great friend, and I hope you come on soon, and I hope I'll see your face on the presidential seat in 2016.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is